So a big portion of the content on this channel focuses on you as an individual becoming a better leader. Hopefully that's not a surprise to anybody that's watched any of these videos. Now, that could be in the real world as like a team lead or a manager, supervisor, whatever you want to call it, whatever the position is, or maybe you want to step into that position. Or alternatively, as a raid leader, guild leader, whatever, again, you may want to step into that position. But there is one lesson that I was reminded of multiple times last week, and I want to share it with you guys because we've talked a lot about some really good stuff, right? Things that you as a leader should be doing, things that you should, that your raiders or your employees are going to expect of you, et cetera, et cetera. But what we haven't talked about is the fact that no matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, and you could be doing everything right, eventually you're going to find that someone is not happy. The old idiom, if you will, you can't make everybody happy all of the time, right? And I'm reminded of this for a handful of reasons. Two that come to mind immediately. I talked to you guys last week about kind of a refocus in the short term while recruitment's difficult and the roster's kind of waning. Our kind of switch up from focusing so much on raiding into Mythic Plus, that we can push higher level keys, that we can really push some of our raiders. We can gear up and get some pretty damn good gear. We can gear up some of our lower level guys. We can recruit, we can get that roster back, hopefully build that roster back up and get back into Mythic content. However, when I told the guild this, I said, hey, look, you guys shouldn't see this as a surprise, but, we have 8 people logging in. We have 7 people logging in. Unless we're doing something like last week, I think it was, maybe the week before, where we did the Battle for Dazar'alor raid achievements to get them out. Where a lot more people showed up, oddly enough. I wonder why that was. But, we announced this change, and some people were perfectly fine with it. Many were very understanding, but there were a select few that weren't happy. They wanted to ride out the raiding schedule until 8.2 and the new raid comes out. There were some that were, having zero interest in Mythic Pluses altogether, and it was kind of a struggle to even get them to log in. Fact of the matter is, I had decreed something as the guild leader, as the raid leader. I had a good amount of support from, the guild as a whole, the raid group as a whole. My singular officer supported me on it, but there were a few people that weren't happy about it. And that's the way it's going to be. The other one that I can think of that we actually experienced last week. So to kind of give you guys a little bit of background, I work in IT. Not a big surprise there. Hopefully you guys have seen this in a couple of other videos where I've talked about it. And my team has the unfortunate responsibility of having to stick around during holidays where our parent company gets the day off. We spend the normal 8 to 5 schedule, really doing not much of anything. We may, fix some stuff, clean up a little bit, but ultimately there's not a lot going on because if nobody's there to break stuff, my team doesn't have anything to do. Now, generally the middle level management from our parent company will generally let us go half day. Maybe 12 o'clock, maybe 1 o'clock, most holidays that they're off. However, this presents a problem because in the state of Virginia, which is where I live, which is where I work, and I would assume this is the case for a lot of other states, you cannot collect overtime unless you work 40 hours for that week. Whatever your set schedule says a week is, it could be Wednesday to Wednesday, it could be, in my case, Sunday to Saturday, whatever your company says it is, that 7-day period, you have to work 40 hours before you can accrue overtime. What does that matter? It doesn't matter for anybody except my team is on a 24-hour schedule, meaning that we have a technician each week rotate through the on-call schedule. Meaning, if we follow this all the way through, that when we get the team that gets to get a half day on, let's say, Friday before Memorial Day. The one guy that's on call for that week doesn't get overtime because he hasn't worked 40 hours, or his overtime, let's say he does get a whole bunch of calls, is diminished. And that is an unfortunate side effect to letting the entire rest of the team off, 4 to 5 hours early, is that one person has to sacrifice a couple of hours of overtime. It sucks. Is it fair? Is it unfair? That's debatable. It is unfortunate for that one guy. I feel for him. I've been in that situation because I have put myself, even as the manager for the team, I will put myself in the on-call rotation because I think it's fair. If I expect my guys to do it, I'm going to do it too. So that's a discussion for, I think, another video if we even need to. But the fact is that whenever we have one of these holidays, where we want to celebrate, whatever it might be, and hang out with family and friends, and in the case of Memorial Day, hopefully a little bit more than just cooking out, somebody's going to get screwed. But it's for the betterment of the team, right? More people benefit than just the singular person that loses, maybe a couple of hours of extra time. So, what I would say to any leader, raid leader, manager, team lead, supervisor, officer, guild leader, or someone that's looking to step into that role is sometimes people are going to be pissed off. Sometimes people are going to be unhappy. And it's an unfortunate side effect of being in an organization where some people sometimes benefit and some people sometimes get the shitty end of the stick. So hopefully you guys like what I'm saying here. Even though it's not a great topic to talk about, it is something that is a very real topic that we have to remind ourselves. And you guys know the deal. If you like it, like it. If you didn't like it, let me know. And until next time, I'll see you.